Every time you send a truck on a service call, the meter is already running against you. Before your technician says a single word to the customer, that visit has a real cost attached to it. It's not the parts. It's not even really the labor. It's the drive itself, and almost nobody prices it correctly. $84.40. That's the industry average cost to roll one HVAC truck for a single hour. Wages, benefits, fuel, insurance, and the windshield time your tech spends just getting there. All of it fully loaded into that one number. Now compare that to what a lot of shops still charge for that exact same visit. $69. $79. Maybe $89 if they're feeling bold that week. A number that sounds competitive on the phone and completely ignores what the visit actually costs you to deliver. Here's the uncomfortable part. That fee usually wasn't calculated at all. It was copied off a competitor's website or guessed years ago, and nobody has touched it since. So let's look at what the real research says a service call should actually cost. A cost study across the industry puts the full truck roll, before labor and before materials, between $85 and $150. Vehicle depreciation, fuel, insurance, drive time, paid at your tech's fully burdened rate. It adds up faster than most owners want to admit. On a $250 service call, that truck roll alone can consume 30 to 60% of the revenue. That's before the technician even opens a single access panel. Now here's the floor number that matters most for your price sheet. A realistic break-even floor on a standard service call, covering just the truck cost, sits around $125. So do the math on your own price sheet right now while it's still fresh. If the real floor is $125 and you're charging $79, you are losing $46 before you diagnose a single thing. Multiply that by every quote-unquote just come take a look call you run this month. Run just 20 of those underpriced calls in a month, and you've handed back more than $900 before you ever ordered a single part. Run it for a full year, and that's an $11,000 hole, hiding inside a business that looks busy and successful from the outside. That's not bad luck. That's not a slow season. That is a pricing decision you are making every single day, without realizing it. And it's not just the trip fee. The damage runs deeper once a job is actually on the books. Nationally, 30 to 40% of completed HVAC jobs are unprofitable once every cost is properly allocated. Not slow jobs. Not problem jobs. Completed, paid jobs that still lose money once you count everything. And the average contractor profit margin across this entire industry sits at 2.5 to 3.5%. That's not a cushion. That's a rounding error. One slow week and you're operating in the red. Here's exactly how thin the margin for error really is. One HVAC company ran the real numbers on a job and found what looked like a 44% margin was actually a 30% net margin, once overhead was properly allocated. Still a profitable job, but nowhere close to what the owner believed while looking at the invoice. You cannot fix a leak you can't see, and most owners have never actually seen this number. Now, if you're already thinking, if I raise my fee, I'll lose the call to the guy down the street who's still charging $79, that's a fair worry. But look at what he's actually doing. He's not beating you on service. He's donating his margin to your shared customer, one truck roll at a time. You are not in a race to be the cheapest quote on the phone. You are in a race to still be in business in 5 years. So here are 3 fixes. Not theory. Things you can put on your price sheet by Friday. Solution 1. Price the drive, not just the wrench time. Set a real trip and diagnostic fee, one that actually covers your fully loaded truck cost, not whatever number feels easy to say on the phone. If the customer hires you for the repair, credit that fee toward the job. Completely fair, and it still protects you if they don't. If they don't hire you, you still didn't lose money just for showing up at their door. Solution 2. Run true job costing on every ticket, not just top-line revenue. Track labor at your tech's fully burdened rate. Materials at actual cost. The truck roll. And a fair slice of overhead. One contractor found a routine 6-hour installation was quietly carrying over $318 in overhead nobody had priced into the bid. $318 on one job, that was never in the quote. Multiply that across a busy install season, Compare all of that against what the job actually paid you, not what you assumed it paid. That's exactly how you catch a 44% margin quietly turning into 30% before it happens 50 more times this year. Solution 3. Set a minimum ticket floor and hold the line on it. Calculate the number that covers your truck cost, your labor, and your overhead. Whatever that number is, that's your floor. Never dispatch a job price below that floor. No exceptions, for it's just a quick fix. A quick fix still costs $84.40 an hour to deliver. The clock does not know the difference. Price by the real math, and something shifts in how this business runs. The phone stops being a cost center and starts being exactly where your margin actually lives. Call by call, truck roll by truck roll. 3 fixes. A real trip fee that covers the drive. True job costing on every ticket. And a minimum floor you never dispatch below. Pick one this week. Not all 3. Just one. The math will still be there tomorrow, and so will the $84 an hour. This is Margin and Wrench. New playbook every day. Hit subscribe.